Day.
Lucky you. Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ and Friends. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and my guest today is Connie DeKramer. And she's going to talk about how you can have a loving relationship with food. And she is one of the contributors to the 2026 Vegan Health Bundle, now in its fifth anniversary bundle, where 70 contributors have gotten together with courses, replays from conferences, lectures, coupons to create a tremendous value of new material that separately would be sold for $4,638. But just for these next 8 days, you can grab it for $49. And if you'd like to get it from Connie and support her work, there'll be a link in the chat in the show note, and you can do that right now. Please welcome Connie to the show. Thanks for coming on the show, and thanks for being in the bundle.
Oh, thank you. I love it. You and Melissa give so much support, and it makes it really fun to do.
Oh, thank you. Well, we love our contributors and we love their products. And speaking of products, well, let's talk about your product. But before we talk about yours, what other products and contributions in the bundle have you enjoyed so far or are going to enjoy?
Well, I'm going to do lives with Macro Val, and she's talking about foods that prevent cancer. I really love what she does. And Dina and Marakita, they're wanting to help vegan people make the transition and make it easy. And then Lori Linda, she has recipes. She's doing videos of recipes. And I always love what Melissa Maris
Yeah.
offers. And she's doing sushi and she's doing tostadas. I love the recipes, Chef AJ. The bundle for me is about the recipes.
Yeah.
And I make them and it just keeps me so inspired.
And there's over 1,000.
Oh, good. I'm glad to know that. I didn't know how many there were
Yeah,
this
well,
year.
we didn't count it, but there's quite a few. Nice.
Oh, that's
And
great.
tell us about your product in the bundle and why are you so interested in this topic?
Well, I coached people for years to become whole food plant-based. And what I would find is if they had stress in their lives, often they'd have a setback or completely go off the trail. So I was always looking for how can we give long-term success to people? How can we make it easier? And 7 years ago, we found an understanding that really does that. And what it's all about is how life works and how the mind works. Now, that doesn't mean much when it's said initially, but I know throughout my life, I would have things happen and I would look for how I could better control circumstances because they were making me feel a certain way. And what I've learned about how the mind works is that our moment to moment experience comes from our thinking, not circumstances. And you don't get that hearing it. But if you reflect on your own life and look, when I have such a negative reaction to life, where is that coming from? Is it the circumstances or is it my thinking about them? And as you see that it's the thinking piece, you relax. You relax much more. And then those feelings that arise, you can begin to welcome them in rather than resist them. And in welcoming them in, you begin to see that they're nothing but energy wanting to move. So it really changes our life experience, just that one thing. And as we relax more and more into life, I certainly began to question, well, how does life really work? If it's not the way I was conditioned or believed that it was, what's the truth about it? And what I see is that the greatest difficulty I've had in my life, and we've all had difficulties, is where the gold is. That's been, when I've looked back over it, where I've learned the most, where I've evolved the most, and it's made me who I am today. So I begin to see that everything life brings me is a gift. And now it's becoming easier and easier to welcome whatever arises, because there's a gift in it. I always know there's a gift in it. And so I want to open and see what that is. And as I do, as I open and see the gift, I grow. And, you know, I look back, Chef AJ, at my life in this way, all the good times, what I defined as good times, I really wanted to move on from those very quickly. You know, life isn't about having a happy life. Life, for me, life is about growing and evolving into more of who I am. And I see that everything that's happened to me has supported that process. So the more I relax, this is the key, the more I'm in the present moment. And when I'm in the present moment, that's the place of healing. And that's the place of well-being. But more important than anything, that's the place where we get nudges from our heart about the best solution in any circumstance. So I've given you a pretty good sketch of what I do, but that's what I show people, how they can utilize that. Now, how does that relate to food?
Yeah, how does it relate to food?
Yeah,
That was my
that's a
next
good
question.
question. So we often reach for food to relieve stress, to feel better, to calm ourselves. And that isn't a healthy relationship with food. That's not the purpose of food. So when we begin to see that we are only experiencing our moment to moment thinking, and we're willing to go into the feeling rather than resist the feeling, again, we get in the present moment. And then we see what is our next best. It's just so simple, but it takes time, and we have to see it for ourselves in our own lives. It's not something that you just incorporate from hearing it generally. So what I want to do is support people to have great health and have it be long lasting. And that's what my coaching is about. And I'd love to give a free coaching session to anyone who's interested.
That got the bundle though, right? Or just anyone in general?
Well, both.
Oh,
Both. And all you have to do is go on my website, Amazing Health, effortlessly, and connect with me, and we'll do a free session. So you can actually experience it and see what I'm talking about.
nice. What are your programs and the type of work you do in general?
Well, coaching is really what it involves. And usually people do a package of 4, a package of 6. And I work with them with food if that's their desire, and the coaching, or just coaching itself based on what it is they're coming to me for. And every Saturday we do a lovely community call for people who are whole food plant-based. And it's an SOS free call, salt, oil, and sugar free. I thank you for that, because when I had a mini stroke in my late 70s, I learned from you how to drop the salt oil. I never did sugar, but I love the way food tastes, Chef AJ. I would never go back, because the taste buds get alive and you taste subtle flavors in food that you don't otherwise. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
And on Saturdays, we make a dish. Then we hear from one of the doctors who are whole food plant-based, And then we do coaching around this understanding, and it's free. The one criterion is that you have to be whole food, plant-based to be on our call. So if that interests you, go on the website and connect with us and we'll get you involved.
What if they're just whole food, plant-based, curious?
Yeah, they can come on the call if they wish and see if it's for them, if they want to make the shift.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, and we had a healing foods restaurant that was all whole food plant based in the 70s. No, in the 90s, excuse me. And we were really pioneers. We served macrobiotic, Ayurveda, and raw food, live food. So I've been at it for a very long time. I'm 82 now. You can kind of tell my voice is not as strong as when I was younger.
So were you already a vegan when you had the stroke?
Yes, but I was using salt and I was using ghee that we made
Oh,
ourselves,
wow.
oil. So I dropped those two and my blood pressure came right down. And it was a very minor stroke, but it really got my attention. And I didn't know before then about salt and oil. I was prudent with oil, but I didn't know that it could really create heart condition or stroke.
Oh, wow. Nice. And your husband joined you in your plant-based journey at the same time?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's been a big part of it and he coaches too. And with many people, we coach together, which is fun.
Yeah. And you live in Canada now, right?
Yeah, we live in Kelowna, British Columbia. About 4 hours driving east from Vancouver. Beautiful, gorgeous lake. It's all agriculture and orchards here. We just love it.
Nice. So tell us a little bit more about the book. Is it something that people read once and then they get it, or do many people don't have a loving relationship with food, would you think?
I think many people struggle with it, and especially even people who are whole food plant based. They struggle with it because even though they make this shift, they still have the difficulty of using food to calm themselves or relieve stress. And so they work hard. And I'd like to show them it can be easier. And what I've got in the bundle are videos, a series of 8 videos that talk about this understanding and about its relationship to food.
Oh, videos. That's nice. I love when videos are included with a book.
Yeah, that's what it is. Videos, all videos, no book.
Oh, notebook. Excuse me. So it's a
That's
video
okay.
course. Well, that's even better, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you say that many people suffer from emotional eating, and is that something that's addressed in your course?
Yes. I think a lot of people do. I think a lot of people have food addiction that may not even recognize that's what they're using food for.
Is the food addiction mostly like hyperpalatable foods with sugar, oil, and salt for the most part, or?
No, I've had clients, Chef AJ, who are whole food plant based, SOS free, who struggle, who are really struggling with portion control. You know, they're eating too much of the food. They know it's more than the body needs, but they can't seem to stop it. And so they want help with that.
Nice. Well, this sounds like something that could help them, and they would get 69 other items as well.
Right, right. Yeah, I love the bundle. This is the 3rd year, and I always download it, and then I take my time through the years to utilize the recipes that I'm called to. And I loved Melissa's recipes. You know, one thing I wanted to ask you about was I've heard such good things about the session you did in Las Vegas, the party.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun. It's I don't know, it's like well, it started on Friday night. So there's all the just one lecture on Friday night, but all day Saturday, all day Sunday. So I'm guessing there's probably like I don't know, 17 lectures, full lectures from people
So
like Dr.
great.
Will Bolshewitz, Dr. Joel Furman, who else? Dr. Roseanne Oliveira, Dr. Christy Funk, Brenda Davis, Dr. Ellen Goldhammer, Dr. Doug Lyle, Chris Wark. I don't want to forget anybody. Lissa and Nate did a cooking demo.
Great.
Javon from Healthy Eating. But my favorite part was the comedy night where I got to do stand up. My husband did stand up and Dr. Joel
Oh,
Furman. I always say, if you want to see Dr. Joel Furman sing, dance, and tell jokes, I think the only, because it's not on the internet, so you're going to get the bundle and then you get
oh,
the entire
great.
conference. Yep. And they're doing the conference again this year for those that can do in person. But this is a steal because the replays cost $197, but the bundle only costs 49. So you're getting that plus 69 other things. So it really is a tremendous value. So
Yeah, it is.
that's,
It is.
I hope people see that it really is.
Well, I love that you and Melissa support it because that's how it happens. And, I think she's a real genius with the way she seasons the food that she offers. So I encourage people to go to her recipes and give them a try, even though they're raw. They're amazing.
And they're beyond raw. I mean, they're just delicious. And for anybody, it doesn't even people that they don't have to be vegan.
True, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I love them. Which recipes of hers have you tried?
Oh, we made the wraps for weeks and loved those so much. They're the main ones that I've tried. And we made her corn tortillas and the tacos that she has. Yeah, we've kind of gone into it in segments from the bundle last year.
Yeah.
She's offering a lot this year too, as you're doing a raw
Yeah, we have
book
a book
with her.
together, but she has a whole sushi book and it's just I wish people, you don't have to buy it, but you can still click the button just to see all the things we're talking about and what the value is and what it really is by going like if you go to Lissa's website, you'll see that the three books she's offering cost more than the whole bundle if you were going to get them that way.
Yeah, it's such a great value. It really is.
Yeah. So having a loving relationship with food, what do you think is the most important first step for people?
I think the most important first step is to recognize where your experience comes from, that it comes from the thinking that you're doing, not from the circumstance, that circumstances in life, and this is hard to swallow initially, are neutral. They're not what determine how we think and feel. It's our thoughts that determine our feelings and our experience. Because when you see that and detach from it, life gets so much easier right away. Your experience of life is very new and fresh, and you begin to see that life has your back in time. Then what's there to worry about? Now, it may be challenging. I'm not saying that it isn't, but that's okay. That's part of how we grow.
Thank you. Do you give people like specific meal plans and things like that?
You know what I find works best, Chef AJ, with the people who come to me is generally starting them slowly. So I start them by leaving out one of the food groups from the South American diet and adding more veggies and fruit and seeing how they feel. That seems to be easier for people. And then we have a kind of a protocol that we weave them into that they can follow, which is very much influenced by Dr. Furman. I love his work.
Mhm. Nice.
Yeah, it's really good.
Did you used to have a discordant relationship with food, and that's why you're so interested in this topic?
I didn't have a no, but
Nope.
I have such a resonance with whole food and with food generally. It's just when I look at my counter, which has tomatoes and sweet potatoes and fruit on it, I just see the love emanating from the food toward me and me toward it. I just have such a real connection and knowing the health benefits that I've received from food. It's given me a very deep conviction to support others because
Nice.
I was drawn to it because of health conditions. Initially, I had a very large fibroid tumor that I was able to shrink with raw food, with live food from Optimum Health
Oh, I
Institute,
went there. Which one did you go to? Texas or California? And when did you go?
California. Um,
Nice.
yeah, that would have been in the 90s that I went there.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That's a wonderful place.
Yep. It's still there. Yeah.
Anything else you have questions
If
about?
you guys have any questions, put them in the chat. Yeah, let's see. I can't think of any. I just want people to know if they want to get the but well, this is about Lissa. Do most of Lissa's recipes require a dehydrator? Actually, no. So the one thing that it does require a dehydrator is those wraps, but the wrap book isn't in this bundle. There are some wraps in some of her courses. So sushi, absolutely not. It's a big sushi course. You don't need wraps for that one. So yeah, but just the wraps, I don't know any way around it. But she didn't put a wrap book in this time. So
Well,
yeah,
you know, when I didn't have a dehydrator, I found I could use the oven on the
very, very
lowest temp.
low. Yeah.
Yeah, on the lowest temp, and I put chopstick in it to leave it open slightly, and that would work as a dehydrator.
Right.
But
The
I
thing
have
is,
one now.
Lissa doesn't even have an oven where she lives, so it's not even something she could test. But you
Ah,
certainly can try it. But yeah, I find that people can get really cheap dehydrators on like Facebook Marketplace and eBay because a lot of people buy them with the intention of maybe making beef jerky or something, and they never do. So I've seen them really for a steal, garage sales too, because most people, they don't use them.
yeah, it's true. I love the one I have, an Excalibur. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was perfect for Les's wraps.
Yeah, that's the one I have too. I just got one for a friend and it was just about $200, which is actually, I think, a great price because I remember when I got my first one many years ago after culinary school, they were a lot more expensive, so they're a lot more affordable now.
Yeah, which is very lucky.
Yeah. Your website is Amazing Health Effortlessly. If people, I put your link to your website in your in the show notes, but what could people find at your website?
Well, there's so many recipes, and they're wonderful recipes that are on the website. And you can find out my bio and my husband's bio and more about the coaching that we do. We do a blog every Monday, and it's a video blog. We send out a video and a recipe to everybody who joins that group. So if you just want to put your toe in the water, that's a great place to begin because that gives you a chance to get some of our coaching and recipes and our interest in food and how it supports health.
Great. Thank you. Well, thanks again for being in the bundle and for helping people with their relationship with food.
Oh, I just love doing it, Chef AJ. Thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely. So, thanks all of you for considering the bundle or getting the bundle. And please come back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific time, a little bit later for Heather McDougall, who has a fantastic product in the bottle. It's the whole, it's starch solution. It's like all these videos, and I think you'll love it. She's going to be doing a cooking demonstration, how to eat more and weigh less and